Evaluation question 7. Looking back at your first task, the school magazine, what do you feel you have learnt in the progression from it to the full product? This is the school magazine that I designed at the start of the year with the target audience of teenagers aged between 15 and 18. I can see now how unprofessional and simple the design is. There isn't enough text and it lacks effects such as drop shadow. Chosen is the only text with any shadow, therefore the magazine lacks texture and interest to the eye. I think that the picture still works well as it looks quite niche and original with the 4 coloured tops. However, having so many people in the shot the same height looks quite simple and distracts the reader from the stories. It was also challenging to decide on a colour for the cover story text, because the tops were causing the text to blend in and not stand out. The cover stories don't grab my attention and seem very bland and boring. The masthead works well, however, but the word is in front of chosen when practically it should be behind it like a shadow, especially because the text is a different colour. The text font is simple and the text issue is too big. At the beginning of the year I didn't understand the correct text sizes to include and where to position the text. This is my music magazine that I've designed with a mixture of genres from alternative to indie rock and including pop. The target market is likewise teenagers aged between 16 and 18. The magazine appears visually more professional and sophisticated for the target audience and uses the colour scheme more efficiently and properly. I think that I've learnt firstly how to include the correct techniques to attract a target audience and relate to them. I've also learnt how to use, develop and challenge the conventions of the magazine. For example, with the masthead, I used an abbreviation of music to brand the magazine, while the school magazine appears loose and not textured. The photo that I used for the school magazine was unique. However, I feel that as there was too many models, it made the magazine confusing and the cover stories didn't fit around the picture, they were simply placed over the top. I've learnt how to position the cover stories to fit with the photo and to keep the attention on the model. I've also learnt how to distribute magazines and industries that do so. IPC Media and Bauer are 2 examples of this. I didn't think of distribution while designing my school magazine, therefore the target audience isn't completely clear, and obviously it would be distributed in school, but I didn't consider how it would be distributed. I learnt how to add banners in a magazine to compact the page and help it to appear neat and finished. The school magazine lacks this. I've additionally learnt how to use Photoshop to improve the magazine, for example, underline the masthead and adding the correct effects to text. I learnt how to use particular fonts and blend them to work well together on a front cover. As you can see on the school magazine, I've not done this, therefore causing the magazine to once again lack interest and sophistication. I think that I've learnt a lot since the start of the year. The creativity has been encouraged by the understanding of the industry and distribution of different media forms, and through understanding the correct conventions of the product to use and present in the most successful way. Evaluation question number 7. Looking back at your first task, the school magazine, how do you feel you've learnt in progression from it to the full product? Well, I've already answered that, but now I want to get Sarah's opinion as she's my target audience, teenager age between 16 and 18. So firstly, how do you think I've made the music magazine look more sophisticated and professional compared to the school magazine as a finished product?
Well, as you can, I can see, in the school magazine, you've used a lot more colours and not wisely. You've cramped it all in, whereas on your music magazine, you chose to have just a blank background with red and just blue, and it looks a lot more sophisticated and looks more catches the eye more. Than it doesn't clash or anything like that. It looks a lot more professional than your school magazine.
Do you think the music contents page attracts the target audience of teenagers aged 16 to 18 compared to the school contents page?
Yeah, definitely. Especially the top, because you've got the black background, the red contrasts a lot over the top. You only use 1 picture, whereas on your school magazine you've used 6 pictures, where it doesn't look very professional, and with the grey background it looks quite dull compared to the one now where the articles, they stand out a lot. You've got numbering, you've got split bollards what's it called? Column?
Like a column.
Column. Got a column. So a column, and then you've got lines in between. Yes, overall a lot better.
Right, thank you.